Life has its own colors. On nights of sorrow, sleep does not come. On nights of happiness, sleep is impossible. Sorrow is never as big as we make it by overthinking. If there is anything in this world that causes the most pain, it is false hopes. We often place too many expectations on people or things, and in the end, they turn against us, becoming the reason for our sorrow. So, if you must have expectations, have them from yourself. If you rely on others, you will only end up with disappointment and sorrow. Pain only affects you when you give importance to a thought or a person. If you stop giving importance to that thought or person, your suffering will also end. Whenever you feel sad, tell yourself, there is no benefit in thinking about this person or this situation. This is the only way to live in peace. Otherwise, you will spend your whole life in sorrow over one thing or another. If a person starts living with the mindset that I only have today to live, their perspective on all situations changes instantly. All unnecessary thoughts vanish, and their mind becomes clear about the true principles of life. Shame on those who make all their decisions based on others' wishes. Life is given only once. Don't make decisions under pressure or out of obligation. If someone insists on imposing their will on you, stand your ground and say, if you don't want to understand me, then I won't accept your terms either. How long will you keep bowing to people and situations? How long will you live in tears and desperation? You expect everything from the world, except from yourself. Try loving yourself once. Try expecting from yourself once. No one can love you more than you. Give yourself a chance. Now let's understand what sorrow truly is through this short story. Life. There was a happy family consisting of parents, grandparents, and siblings. They took great pride in their happiness. But one day, tragedy struck. The father passed away. His loss deeply saddened the grandfather, but he prioritized the future of his daughter-in-law and grandchildren. Leaving behind his grief, he encouraged his family to move forward with resilience. However, just a year later, another tragedy occurred. The grandson died in an accident. This was a deeply painful time, yet the grandfather and daughter-in-law remained composed, focusing on the well-being of the daughter and moving forward. As time passed and with age taking its toll, the grandfather too departed. Now only the mother and her daughter remained. The once happy family had fallen apart. The daughter was growing up, standing at the crossroads of major life decisions. But within her heart, there was sadness and restlessness, the pain of losing her father and then her brother at just 14 years old. Despite this, she continued to move forward in life, following her mother's teachings. She always carried a smile, embracing life with open arms. But one day, overwhelmed by loneliness, she broke down and asked her mother with teary eyes, "Mother, you always say that life is precious, that there is a lot of suffering in the world, but God is with us. Yet I don't feel that way. One by one, everyone has left. All I have now are memories." Her mother gently replied, "My dear, I understand that losing your father and brother at such a young age has been painful for you. Their absence is felt deeply. But remember, your father ensured that we never had to beg before anyone. We never lost the roof over our heads, and you were raised without any shortcomings. Fate had decided that we would have to live without them. But by trusting in God and embracing life with respect, we found the strength to bear this pain. If we hadn't had this courage, our lives would have become a curse." This story teaches us that joy and sorrow are two sides of the same coin, and every phase of life brings both. One must not magnify grief, but instead learn to see it as small. Sometimes tough times mark the beginning of great success. You can, either spend your difficult days crying or turn them into the turning point of your life. Because every great success begins with hardship and struggle. It is only through challenges that we find the right path and achieve greatness. Excessive comfort can make a person lazy. If you don't believe it, just look at the children of sea. Wealthy families who were given everything they needed but have achieved nothing on their own. They still rely on their parents' money. This is why those who grow up in poverty often create history, while those raised in luxury remain entangled in their comforts.